Beloved one, you are not broken. You are not abandoned. You are not beyond healing. You are simply waiting to remember. In this sacred hour, come with me now, not into another doing, not into more thoughts, but into the radiant temple of stillness where God is already waiting for you. Sit or lie down in a posture of reverence. Let the spine become straight, like a pillar of divine light. Rest your hands gently on your knees or by your side, palms open like a flower receiving the morning sun. Let the eyelids fall like curtains closing over the stage of the world. Inhale softly and exhale even softer. Again, inhale and exhale. No need to try, no need to force. Just listen, just be. The world has spoken loudly to you today, but now the soul whispers, and it says this: I am ready to return. I am ready to remember. Can you hear it? In the silence between your breaths, the soul gently knocks. It does not shout. It waits with patient love for you to open the door from within. As your awareness settles, bring it to your chest. Feel the sacred rhythm of the heart beating, not yours alone, but God's pulse in you. Feel the quiet warmth behind your ribs. There, like a hidden flame, the soul has always been burning, even when you forgot, even when you feared, even when you suffered. That flame never left you, and now we return to it. In this moment, your body is not a burden. It is a temple. Every cell, a shrine. Every breath, a prayer. You do not need to change who you are. You need only remove what you are not. Beneath your weariness, beneath the ache, beneath the noise is the eternal you, the divine spark, the beloved child of the infinite. Breathe again, slowly, fully, joyfully. With each breath, feel the doorway of the soul open wider. Inhale light. Exhale everything that does not belong. Inhale God. Exhale the world. Inhale truth. Exhale tension. Inhale love. Exhale the past. You are not walking into stillness. You are being embraced by it. Stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is the presence of the beloved, the sacred hush of angels around your soul, the original language of the infinite. Listen to it now. It speaks not in words, but in vibration. Feel it humming beneath the skin. Feel it stirring behind the ribs. Feel it pressing like dew behind your forehead. Let us now walk deeper, my child, into the silence where healing begins, not with effort, but with surrender. The gate is open. You are ready. The soul is waiting no more. Now, my child, feel the sacred breath as the golden key to inner stillness. Do not breathe with effort. Breathe with reverence. With each inhale, feel as though you are drawing in the infinite. With each exhale, let go of all that binds you to the illusion of restlessness. The breath is the chariot of spirit, and it will carry you inward if you let it. Inhale gently now, and imagine a golden light entering through the nose, bathing the brain, filling the chest, and descending through the spine like liquid honey from the heavens. Hold this golden light in your body for a moment. Feel its warmth. Now exhale slowly and see a misty gray fog dissolve out from the lungs, carrying away tension, fear, fatigue. Let it all go. That is not you. Again, inhale, golden light. Exhale, the world. Say silently with each breath, I breathe thee, I release me. Let this become your inner chant. As you breathe in, you are not merely taking in air. You are receiving the divine into your inner temple. Each inhale is the Father's gift. Each exhale is your offering back. This is not just oxygen. This is prana, life force, sacred energy drawn straight from the reservoir of God's infinite vitality. It animates your cells, sanctifies your blood, and heals your soul. With every breath, we are not aging. We are being born again into divine remembrance. Let the breath wash over old griefs and silent fears, the ones lodged like shadows in the bones. Let the golden breath carry them away, not violently, not suddenly, but like dawn removes the stars. Not one scar remains when God breathes through you. Now bring your attention to the nostrils. Feel the cool air entering. Feel the warmth as it exits. Observe, not with mind, but with stillness. This is where healing begins, not in force, but in attention soaked with love. Attention is the holiest medicine. Now imagine with each breath that golden light is not only filling your lungs, it is flowing into your spine, your arms, your legs, your hands, your feet. Each finger glows like a lamp. Each toe hums with awareness. The light reaches every corner of your being until there is no darkness left. This breath is not yours. It is the breath God gave you at the dawn of time. Say within, "Beloved, I breathe thee. I receive thee." Let your chest become a chalice. Let your lungs become a hymn. Let every breath be your way of remembering, I am not this tension. I am not this fear. I am thine. And now, having lit the lamp of life within you, let us enter the sacred channel, the spine, where divine stillness speaks not in words, but in radiant silence. Now, as the golden breath continues to wash through you, let us turn our gaze within, to the throne of the soul, the spine. This is not merely bone and tissue, it is the sacred highway of divine consciousness. Along this column flows the river of life, rising from the base of matter to the spiritual eye of illumination. Close your eyes more deeply now and feel as though you are gently stepping into the center of your spine. Do not strain, do not force. With the grace of a whisper, place your awareness behind the heart. Feel the current there, subtle but steady. You are not imagining it, you are remembering it. From this point behind the heart, begin to descend inwardly, slowly, gently, like a drop of light flowing down the sacred stream. Pass through each vertebra as though you were ringing silent bells of consciousness. At the base of the spine, feel the first light, a ruby glow. This is your foundation. It holds the memory of safety and strength. Do not judge it. Bless it. Say inwardly, O divine, awaken thy light here. Now let that glow rise like morning through a forest. Ascend to the sacral center, orange, creative, fluid. This is where energy first stirs to move outward into the world. Speak gently to it. Sanctify my energy, O Lord, that it may serve thee. Rise now to the navel, the golden center of will. Here your life force gathers to shape your destiny. Feel it glow like a small sun. Say within, not my will, but thine be done. Now higher, to the heart, where emerald light opens into love. This is the dwelling of Divine Mother in your temple. Let the breath become soft. Let the spine become upright. Feel the heart glow not with emotion, but with compassion without demand. Whisper, may this heart be a flame of thy presence. Ascend again, throat center, sky blue, the fountain of expression. Feel as though a soft breeze moves through you here. Ask within, let my voice speak only thy truth. Now the brow, the seat of divine perception. Indigo radiance gathers between the eyebrows. Feel it pulsating as though the universe itself were looking back at you. Do not seek visions. Seek stillness. That is where the vision of God arises. Silently chant, Om, Om, Om. Finally rise to the crown. A 1,000-petaled lotus above the head, violet and white. Though you may not see it, feel it. It is the gate through which the soul flies free, the place where your spirit once entered the body and where it will one day return home. Beloved, open this gate of light, that I may remember thee fully. Let all 7 centers now glow as one, a column of light rising from earth to heaven. You are not just body, you are temple. You are not just seeker, you are priest. In this very moment, you are touching eternity through the spine. And now, having awakened the inner sanctuary, we shall call upon the divine physician, he who alone holds the power to heal, restore, and resurrect your inner light. Now that the temple has been illumined and the sacred spine has been lit like a divine candle, let us summon the beloved, not as an idea, but as a living light, a healing breath, an indwelling presence. Still the breath. Sit with reverence, prepare your heart, not with words, but with surrender. Say softly from the innermost altar of your soul, O Father, O Divine Mother, beloved friend, come now into the body thou didst create. Do not say it as a request, say it as a homecoming. For your body is not a burden, but a blueprint made of cosmic light. Your every cell is a spark from the divine fire. Every organ a petal in the lotus of God's presence. And your breath, yes, your breath is His silent knock. Let your awareness drift now to your brain. Visualize a pure white light descending from above, gently entering the crown of your head like a stream of living radiance. It trickles into the folds of your brain, softening, soothing, awakening divine intelligence. Say inwardly, "Thy wisdom floods this temple. My thoughts are sanctified in thee." Now bring your focus to your eyes, not just the outer ones, but the eye of soul vision. Whisper silently within, "May I see with thee, may I see through thee, may I see only thee." Let the current of healing flow into the throat. If there is pain here, tightness, silence, unspoken grief, do not resist it. Lay it in the lap of God like an offering. Say gently, "Speak through me, Lord. Heal every word before it forms." Move now to the heart, the trembling throne where God often knocks, but we do not answer. Let it open, not with emotion, but with stillness, like the petals of a flower opening to morning sun. Visualize Divine Mother gently placing her hand upon your chest. Feel her warmth, her knowing, her compassion. Speak from your soul. "This heart is no longer mine. I give it back to thee." Let the warmth now descend into your belly, into the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, the gut, every corner of this holy sanctuary. Visualize golden light flowing like honey into every organ. Say softly, "No longer do I live by food or air alone. I live by thy radiant energy, O Spirit." Let that light sweep downward into your limbs, your bones, your blood. Feel it spiral into the very marrow, the hidden places. Speak again. "Every drop of blood remembers thee. Every cell awakens to thy healing name." And now return to the whole. See your body, lit from crown to sole, as a lamp of God, a shining cathedral, a living scripture made of bone and breath. Whisper with me, "I am not this pain. I am not this fear. I am the light that lives behind them." Divine Physician, walk through me. Heal not just the symptom, but the story. Rewrite my inner script with thy healing word. And now, be still, not passive, but sacred, for you have summoned the infinite. And where he is invoked in love, healing rushes like a river. You are no longer alone in your suffering. You are held in the light of one who never forgets, never condemns, never withholds. The healing has already begun. Now, beloved, we descend. We descend beyond the words, beyond even the breath, into the sacred core, where healing does not happen to you but flows from you. There, in the silence behind thought, God waits, not as a rescuer, but as your truest self. Close your eyes deeper, not outwardly, but inwardly, and feel yourself beginning to dissolve. Dissolve like sugar in warm tea. Dissolve like a feather resting upon a lake. Your name, your roles, your worries, they are not being denied. They are being laid aside, like garments at the edge of a sacred river. Let your awareness fall gently into the heart, not the organ, but the luminous space within the chest where the soul breathes. Let it fall like a stone into the center of a still pond. No splash, no sound, just depth. Feel the ripples disappear. Feel the inner waters settle. Now breathe as if you are breathing with God, not just in Him. Inhale softly, "I am spirit." Exhale even softer, "I am free." Again, inhale, "I am light." Exhale, "I am love." One more. Inhale, "I am His." Exhale, "He is mine." And now, go still, completely, not to sleep, but to awaken. For when the senses sleep, the soul wakes. And in that wakefulness, the real healing begins. Imagine yourself now at the edge of a clear, still pool, deep in a forest untouched by time. The air is still, the trees silent, the moon hanging high above like the eye of God. You kneel at the edge of that water and gaze into your own reflection, not as flesh, but as light. The ripples fade, And you see not your face, but your essence. Not your age, but your eternity. You are not the illness. You are not the story. You are not the diagnosis or the grief. You are not the lost years or the aching muscles. You are the one who has witnessed them all, silent, still, immortal. In this still pool, the body and soul remember what the mind forgot, that God has never left, that the breath of healing was always one silent prayer away, that beneath the noise of striving, beneath the ache of seeking was always this, stillness. Let the silence now spread within you, like incense in a temple, like dawn over a mountain. Let it touch your brain, your heart, your belly, your spine, and where it touches, feel every burden lift, every knot unravel, every cry dissolve. Say nothing now. Be the stillness, for in this moment the divine is not coming to you. He is already here. Beloved, the body may forget, and the mind may wander, but the soul never forgets. It carries the memory of divine wholeness like a flame that cannot be extinguished by pain, nor time, nor death. You are not trying to become healed. You are being invited to remember that you were never broken. Inhale slowly, and with that breath, allow your consciousness to drift beyond this moment, beyond this room, beyond this life. Let the breath carry you like a silver boat over still waters. Let it bring you to the threshold of eternal memory. For before the name you now bear, there was a radiant light, and that light was you, and it is you still. See now within the temple of your own awareness, the vision of yourself before birth. No form, no wound, no fear. Just a luminous soul held in the embrace of the infinite. You were not created in weakness. You were sent forth as light, perfect, fearless, strong. The body you wear is not a prison, but a garment for the soul's journey through time. The aches you feel are not curses. They are the echoes of lessons you came to learn and then transcend. Speak now gently within, as if remembering a vow long buried. I came here to awaken. I chose this path not to suffer, but to remember God in all things. Even in pain, my soul has always known its origin. And now visualize as if you are standing beneath a great celestial waterfall, the divine current of remembrance pouring over you. It is not made of water, but of light, a golden cascading silence that washes away every illusion, every sorrow, every forgetfulness. Let it touch your spine, your heart, your eyes. Let it carry away the dust of confusion. Let it polish your inner mirror until at last you see Him, God, reflected back. You do not need to become anything more than you are. You only need to stop forgetting. And in this very moment, you are remembering. This is not imagination, it is remembrance. This is not invention, it is reunion. Your soul is singing now, not with words, but with stillness. It is calling out from the temple of your being, whispering gently, I am whole, I am healed, I am home. Stay here, beloved. Let the next breath be a vow. Let the next exhale be an offering. Let the next moment be the altar where healing begins. Not through effort, but through sacred memory. Your body is not an obstacle on your spiritual path. It is the path. It is the living altar where the soul and the infinite meet. The divine, having taken form in you, waits not for punishment, but for praise. Your body does not need rejection. It needs remembrance. It does not respond to criticism. It responds to love. Now bring your awareness to the body once more, but not as something you own. See it now as something you serve, a temple built by God, cell by cell, breath by breath. Let your hands rest softly upon your heart or your belly or wherever the ache has been. And now speak to that place, not with frustration, not with fear, but with reverent tenderness. Say gently within yourself, I love you, I thank you, I release you into peace. Let every syllable be wrapped in divine compassion. Your body's listening. The skin listens. The bones listen. The organs, so long burdened with worry and rush, now pause and listen. The inner doctor awakens through your voice. Your consciousness is the conductor of the divine current, and the current moves where love is directed. Now breathe again. And with this breath, imagine divine light flowing downward, from the spiritual eye between the eyebrows, like a luminous river descending the spine. As it flows, it touches each region of the body. It enters the brain and nourishes the nerves with peace. It enters the throat and clears away old griefs left unspoken. It reaches the heart and sings a lullaby to every cell. The light floods the lungs, the stomach, the arms and legs, until every corner of your being begins to glow. Now place your awareness in the soles of your feet. Say silently, "Thank you, walk in light." Move awareness to your knees. "Thank you, bend in grace." Now your hands, "Thank you, serve with love." And now return to the heart. You have suffered, but now you are remembered. Let the light expand outward. You are no longer a being of flesh alone. You are a luminous field of divine intelligence, healing from the inside by the simple miracle of sacred attention. This is not fantasy. This is soul science. The body is not moved by commands, it is moved by love. Now repeat slowly, once for the body, once for the soul, once for God. I am light, I am whole, I am the child of spirit. Once more with a longer breath. I am light, I am whole, I am the child of spirit. One final time with full devotion. I am light, I am whole, I am the child of spirit. Feel now the cells softening, the heart opening, the brain relaxing into a divine coordination. Healing is not coming, it is happening, because love has been spoken, and the temple has listened. Now, beloved, be very still. You have spoken to the temple. You have called the divine physician. There is nothing more to fix, nothing more to say. You have opened the door, and now, let God step in. For in the deepest stillness, all true healing unfolds. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of God. When the surface of the lake is calm, the stars can reflect upon it. And so it is with your consciousness. When the breath is quiet and the mind rests like a child in its mother's arms, then God's reflection can appear in the waters of your soul. Breathe now, not as a task, but as a prayer. Let the breath enter gently and leave even more gently. Let it be circular, quiet, unforced. Let it be the breath that breathed creation itself. Let each breath be an offering, a surrender, a whisper, "Thy will, not mine." Now drop even the breath, for the breath will now follow you. Sink below it, into the eternal current, the silent tide of divine awareness. Become the watcher, the quiet one behind thought. You are not the thinker. You are the presence that sees the thought come and go, like a cloud drifting across a mountain peak. Be still, and in this stillness, know, the infinite is healing you, without your worry, without your pleading, without your effort. It is enough now to let God remember you. It is enough to be still and say inwardly, "I am yours." No need to analyze, no need to name, no need to justify the pain or solve the mystery. You are not here to conquer the body, but to let it be dissolved into light. You are not here to fix yourself, but to reveal the self that was never broken. Stay in this stillness now. Let 5 breaths pass in silence. Each breath deeper, each breath emptier of self, each breath fuller of spirit. Pause here in video for silence if needed. You do not need to feel anything special. You do not need to achieve peace. Healing is not measured by sensation. It is recognized by release. And in this sacred moment, the divine is working through your stillness. Every cell listens, every nerve responds. The inner doctor is at work because you have remembered the truth. You are not alone. You are not separate. You are not forgotten. You are being healed by the one who formed your body from stars in silence. Beloved, it is time to gently return to your outer awareness, but do not leave this temple you have entered. You are not going back to the noise of the world. You are bringing the light of this stillness into the world. Let your breath become a little fuller now, but not faster. Let it rise like the morning sun over a calm ocean, soft, radiant, unhurried. Wiggle your fingers gently, your toes. Sense your body not as weight, but as a vessel of vibration, carrying the light you've received to every corner of your being. Feel the crown of your head, warm, luminous, open. Feel your heart, no longer bound by pain or fear, but expanded, softened, sanctified. Feel your spine, a divine ladder between heaven and earth. You have become the altar and the flame, the temple and the light that dwells within it. Now speak inwardly. I am healed, not because I demanded it, but because I remembered who I am. Every atom of my being is now harmonized by the silent current of spirit. I walk in my body as a soul. I walk in the world as a child of God. Let this prayer now become the seal upon your soul's altar. Beloved Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, thank you for dwelling in me, as me, for healing me with thy stillness. I offer this body, this breath, this life into thy hands. Use it for thy joy. Guide it in thy peace. Awaken it again and again until I know I am never apart from thee. And so now, beloved, we bless every cell with remembrance, every thought with stillness, every step with divine rhythm. You are not returning to yourself. You are returning as yourself. Take one final breath, deep, silent, and sacred. As you exhale, smile gently. This smile is not yours. It is God's signature within you. Should you feel called to revisit this sacred space, you are always welcome. This stillness is not in the video. It is not in the words. It is not in the voice. It is in you. And it waits for you as faithfully as the dawn. If your soul was touched by this healing, speak it aloud or share your blessing with others. Let this light multiply. Let this stillness ripple. Let this temple of divine remembrance rise in all hearts. May God bless you, and may the silence become your song. Beloved soul, when you cross the threshold of 60 years, society whispers that your best days are behind you, that the body must now bow to decline, and the spirit must settle for waiting. But I tell you, those voices are not the voice of God. The divine spark within you does not measure itself by the calendar, nor does it diminish with the passage of years. That spark is ever new, untouched by age, and if you learn to awaken it, you will find that vitality, strength, and radiance can be yours in every season of life. I call you now into remembrance. You are not merely flesh and bone subject to decay. You are a living temple of God's energy, and that energy is inexhaustible. Think of a lamp. The vessel may be old, the metal dented, but if you pour in new oil and touch the wick with fire, the flame leaps up as brightly as on the first day. So it is with you. The body may bear the marks of time, yet the flame of life force, when tended with care, can blaze as brilliantly as ever. You are not asked to resign yourself to fatigue and frailty. You are invited to rediscover the reservoir of divine energy within. Age is not the end of vitality, but the call to consciously draw upon the deeper currents that sustain life. The practice I will reveal to you is no ordinary routine of exercise or ritual. It is Yogananda's gift to the world, a method that can transform the way energy flows in your body within a single day. He taught it not as mere physical exercise, but as a sacred science, an art of drawing God's electricity into every cell, every muscle, every nerve. In just 24 hours, if practiced with devotion, it can awaken a freshness in your body, a brightness in your eyes, and a joy in your step. Do not think this promise is an exaggeration. It is a law of spirit. Where attention goes, energy flows, and where divine energy flows, renewal follows. This is why I summon you now, especially if you are 60 or beyond, to remember that the years cannot bind the soul, and they need not bind the body. Each sunrise is a gift, each breath a renewal. Do not say, I am too old to change. Say instead, I am ready to reclaim the youth of my spirit and let it shine through my body. For in truth, you are ageless. The body may bend, but the soul remains upright. The body may slow, but the soul is swift. The body may grow weary, but the soul is tireless. Tonight, let this conviction awaken in you. This is your sacred summons. Not to deny the body's changes, but to learn how to infuse it with light so that even in the later chapters of your journey, you walk in strength, dignity, and joy. Let us go forward together into this exploration, and you will see how quickly God answers when you claim your divine inheritance of vitality. But before we step into the practice itself, we must first understand why age feels heavy and what hidden forces truly drain the body of energy. My beloved, let us look with honesty and compassion at why so many, upon reaching their 60s and beyond, feel the creeping weight of age pressing upon their shoulders. The common belief is that it is simply the natural consequence of time, that the body must weaken as the years advance. But Yogananda taught, and I affirm from my own realization, that this heaviness is not born of time itself, but of the way life force ceases to flow freely through the body. The soul never ages. It is the vessel that becomes clogged with habits of thought, tension, and neglect of inner energy. What you call fatigue is not the march of years, but the result of blocked prana, the divine current that animates every atom of your being. Think of a river that has run for centuries. Its waters are pure, its source eternal. But if fallen branches and stones collect to block its channels, the flow becomes sluggish, the banks dry, and the land appears barren. The river has not ceased to exist, it is only obstructed. So it is with the river of divine energy within you. The current of God's life has not diminished with your age. It is as abundant now as it was in your youth. What has happened is that tension has formed dams in your muscles. Worry has knotted the nerves, fear has constricted the breath, and distraction has pulled the mind away from the source. These obstructions make you feel that energy is fading, when in truth it is only waiting to be released. Yogananda explained that the real cause of aging is not the passing of years, but the misuse of will and attention. Most people scatter their energy outward into anxiety, into unnecessary movements, into restless thoughts, and little is left to recharge the body from within. Over time, this constant leakage makes the body appear weaker, but the truth is that the supply of cosmic energy is infinite and ready to be drawn into you at will. You are not a victim of age. You are a master who has forgotten the switch that connects you to the universal power station. When you understand this, the fear of aging begins to dissolve. You see that the body's stiffness is not an irreversible curse, but a call to unclog the channels, to remove the debris of tension and thought that blocks the current. You realize that life can feel new again, not because time reverses, but because you allow God's energy to circulate as it was meant to. In this recognition, hope dawns like a morning sun after a long night. You are no longer at the mercy of the calendar. You are at the mercy of your own willingness to align with spirit. This is why fatigue need not be your destiny, even past 60. The hidden cause of heaviness is disconnection from the inner flow. The hidden cure is to reconnect, to let the river run clear again. And Yogananda, in his infinite compassion, gave us a precise method to do just that. Before we learn the practice, let us contemplate the sacred law of spiritual energy that governs the body, so that we may see clearly how divine vitality can be summoned at will. Beloved soul, to understand how transformation can occur within 24 hours, you must first grasp the sacred law upon which it rests. The body is not sustained by food alone, nor by air alone, nor even by the mechanical beating of the heart. It is sustained by prana, the subtle life force, the electricity of God flowing invisibly into every cell. Without prana, food is tasteless, air is lifeless, the heart is motionless. Prana is the original energy from which all functions arise, and it is this energy that Yogananda taught us to awaken and direct consciously. Every cell in your body is a small temple lamp, designed to hold and radiate this divine current. When prana flows freely, the lamp glows with health and vitality. When prana is obstructed or scattered, the lamp flickers and dims, giving the appearance of age or weakness. This is why some souls past 60 radiate light and vigor, while others feel drained long before their time. It is not the number of years that determines the difference, but the mastery of life force. The law is clear. Where attention goes, energy flows. When your will and concentration are fixed inward, you become a magnet drawing cosmic power. When they are dissipated outward, you leak the very force meant to renew you. Consider the sun shining in the sky. Its rays fall equally on all, yet not everyone feels the same warmth. A magnifying glass, when held steadily, concentrates the rays into a single point of fire, capable of igniting even dry wood. In the same way, the rays of God's vitality are ever present, bathing every human being without discrimination. But only the one who learns to focus the will and draw that light consciously feels the fire of transformation. This is the law: concentration gathers, distraction scatters. If you live scattered in thought, your prana drains into worries, regrets, and endless activities. If you learn to gather your will, you become a human dynamo, alive with inexhaustible energy. Do not think that prana is an abstract idea. You can feel it, even now, if you close your eyes and bring your awareness to the breath. That tingling, that current, that subtle vitality in your spine and limbs, that is prana. Yogananda discovered that through conscious tension and relaxation, through the marriage of will and breath, this current can be increased at will, charging the body like a battery connected to an infinite station. Just as a radio receives waves that already fill the air, so too can your body receive the boundless power of spirit once you tune it properly. This is why Yogananda could say with certainty that even in a single day, you can feel transformed. Not because the years have vanished, but because the law of energy is eternal and impartial. The moment you align with it, the moment you direct your will inward to recharge with cosmic power, the results appear. The body is not a burden, it is an instrument, and the strings of this instrument are tightened or loosened by your control of prana. And now, having seen the law that governs vitality, let us step into the sacred blueprint Yogananda gave for awakening this energy instantly, the practice of energization. Beloved, when Yogananda crossed the ocean and came to the West, he did not bring merely the fragrance of India's mysticism or the lofty philosophies of the rishis. He brought a practical method, a science of direct contact with the divine energy that sustains body and soul. He called it the energization exercises, and he declared that this system would outlast centuries because it awakens the eternal truth within every person, regardless of age, culture, or condition. These practices are not to be confused with ordinary calisthenics, which merely strain muscle and exhaust strength. They are the conscious art of drawing cosmic prana, the electricity of spirit, into the body by the union of will, breath, and attention. The essence of the practice is simple yet profound. By willing tension into a muscle, holding it with awareness, and then releasing into relaxation, you create a magnetic current that draws energy from the surrounding universe into the cells. Each movement is like turning a key, opening a door in the body's temple, through which divine vitality floods. It is as if you become a human dynamo, generating your own renewal, not by external means, but by awakening the power already flowing within you. Yogananda often said, "The greater the will, the greater the flow of energy." These words are the heart of the energization exercises. They remind you that your body's strength is not a relic of youth, but the reflection of your inner command. Imagine every muscle as a thirsty vessel. When you contract it with calm will and then release, you are like a gardener pressing water from the sky into the soil. The cells drink deeply of the prana, and in moments you can feel tingling, warmth, a subtle joy spreading like fire through your body. This is not imagination. It is the direct experience of God's energy moving into your form. In time, this practice makes you conscious that you are more than flesh, you are a channel of light. The body becomes lightened, nerves become strong, fatigue dissolves, and even the weight of years is lifted, for you are now connected to the source that never diminishes. The energization exercises are the divine blueprint because they operate on the truth of how energy flows. Attention is the magnet, will is the lever, and prana is the current. With each exercise, you are training not just muscles but awareness. You are learning to master the currents of energy in your body so that when you sit to meditate, you can withdraw those same currents into the spine and offer them to God in stillness. Thus, the practice does more than heal or strengthen the body. It purifies the very pathways of consciousness that lead the soul to liberation. This, beloved one, is why Yogananda promised that these exercises could bring transformation in a single day. Even 15 minutes of practice, performed with devotion and focused will, can recharge the body as if plugged into an infinite power station. You will not only feel younger, you will feel ageless, for you are awakening the eternal current of God's life within. But before we step into the movements themselves, we must prepare the inner posture, for energy flows best into a vessel that is quiet, surrendered, and joyfully receptive. Let us now learn how to prepare the soul through the training of inner obedience. Beloved one, before you draw upon the vast power of God's life force, you must prepare the inner vessel that will receive it. Just as a farmer plows the soil before planting seeds, so too must the seeker cultivate the field of the mind and heart before energy can flow in fullness. Yogananda often reminded us that the body will obey when the will is steady, and the will itself will obey when it is aligned with God. This alignment is what I call inner obedience, a training of the attention, a purification of motive, a joyful surrender of the ego's resistance. Without it, the practice of energization becomes mechanical. And though the body may feel some effect, the deeper current remains untapped. Think of the compass needle. No matter how it is shaken, it always swings back toward the north. In the same way, your attention must learn to swing back, unerringly, toward the spiritual eye, the seat of divine awareness, each time it is distracted. At first, the mind wanders like a child in a marketplace, pulled by 1,000 glittering things. But with patience and obedience, it learns to return, again and again, to the center. This is not suppression. It is the training of love. When you love the beloved deeply, the heart naturally turns to him, no matter how far it strays for a moment. Inner obedience also means approaching the practice not with doubt or restless demand, but with reverence and faith. If you say within, perhaps this will work, perhaps not, you split your energy and the current falters. But if you say, Lord, this is your power, flowing through your child, I am ready to receive, then the whole being opens like a flower to the sun. In that openness, energy pours in without hindrance. Remember always, prana is intelligent. It follows thought. It responds to will. It rushes eagerly into vessels that are pure, concentrated, and surrendered. So before beginning, take a few quiet moments to center yourself. Sit with the spine tall and the gaze uplifted, breathing slowly until the heart grows calm. Offer the day, the years, the very weight of your age into God's hands, saying, Beloved, let me feel thy life in every cell. In this moment of surrender, you are no longer merely a body seeking youth. You are a soul affirming its eternal vitality. The ego, with its fears of decline, its pride in former strength, its reluctance to change, must bow here. Inner obedience is the bowing of the little self so the great self may shine. With this preparation, your vessel is ready. The soil is turned, the compass aligned, the heart surrendered. Now, when you enter into the energization exercises, you will find the current flows freely, joyfully, abundantly. The body will respond like an instrument freshly tuned, resonating with the hidden music of spirit. Let us now step together into the practice itself, the 24-hour transformation Yogananda promised. Now, beloved, let us step into the current of practice itself, for knowledge without action is like a lamp without oil. Yogananda gave us the energization exercises as a sacred method, simple enough for any soul to perform, yet powerful enough to awaken the body with God's own electricity. I will guide you now into the first portion of this transformative practice. Let your body become the temple, your will the priest, and your breath the incense rising upward. Stand tall or sit upright, whichever your body allows comfortably. First, take a double breath, inhaling through the nose with a sharp sniff, then a deeper second sniff to fill the lungs completely. Then exhale in 2 parts through the mouth, a short blow followed by a longer one, as if expelling all heaviness. Repeat this 2 or 3 times. With each inhalation, imagine drawing in a golden current from the universe. With each exhalation, release fatigue, age, and worry. This is the gateway breath, clearing the vessel so energy may enter. Now, begin with the arms. Extend them outward, and with gentle willpower, tense the muscles from the hands up to the shoulders, holding the tension for a moment. Then release slowly into complete relaxation. Feel, do not merely think, the difference between tension and release. This conscious contrast is the secret that pulls prana into the tissues. Repeat, applying mild tension, then moderate, then firm, always ending with relaxation. As you do, silently affirm, God's energy flows through my arms. Strength and vitality are mine now. Next, focus on the legs. While seated or standing, contract the muscles from the toes up to the thighs, holding the tension with calm will, then release. Do this 3 times, gradually increasing intensity. Feel the tingling, the aliveness, as divine electricity awakens dormant cells. Imagine every step you will take tomorrow already infused with new vigor. Affirm, every step I walk in God's joy. Finally, for this first segment, bring awareness to the torso. Inhale deeply, Gently tense the chest and abdomen, hold, then exhale and relax fully. As you do, picture your heart glowing with fresh vitality, your stomach and organs flooded with divine intelligence. Feel light entering places where fatigue once lingered. Affirm softly, this body is God's temple. Every cell shines with His light. Already in these simple movements, you may feel warmth, tingling, a subtle current running through you. This is not imagination. It is the body's natural response to prana, summoned by will and awareness. Even after a single session, you may notice fatigue lifting like a mist before the morning sun. In 24 hours, if practiced with devotion, the change can be profound. But the current must now be deepened and directed more precisely. For in the second part of this practice, you will learn to circulate energy throughout the body as a living song of spirit. Let us move onward, for the river of life is eager to flow through you. Beloved, having awakened the current of divine energy through the first phase of tension and relaxation, let us now move into the deeper portion of the practice, where that energy is consciously directed and circulated. This is the true art of Yogananda's energization, not only to feel the prana entering, but to guide it with the authority of the will, so that no part of the body remains starved of vitality. Every cell is waiting to be illumined, every nerve a silent harp string eager to vibrate with God's music. Begin by closing your eyes gently and lifting your inner gaze to the spiritual eye, the seat of divine awareness between the eyebrows. Take a slow inhalation, and as you do, imagine drawing a golden river upward along the spine. With your exhalation, feel that river branching into streams, flowing through the shoulders, arms, chest, abdomen, legs, until every extremity is bathed in light. Do not rush. With each breath, you are irrigating the garden of the body with living water. If there are places of stiffness, imagine the current pausing there, dissolving the knots of tension as sunlight melts snow. Now place your hands on your thighs, palms upward, and with calm will draw energy into them. Tense gently, then relax, but keep your mind fixed on the sensation of vitality entering. Visualize your legs as pillars of light, strong and youthful, carrying you not with the weight of years but with the buoyancy of spirit. Say within, these legs walk in God. Every step is a step in eternity. Bring your awareness next to the heart. Place the right hand gently over the chest, inhale deeply, and feel the heart muscle and its surrounding nerves drinking in prana. Exhale, releasing all heaviness, sadness, or fear that may linger there. Repeat 3 times, each time affirming, my heart is charged with God's love. I live in ever new joy. Allow yourself to feel the warmth, perhaps even tears of sweetness, as divine compassion awakens in you. Finally, sweep awareness through the whole body. Inhale with will, drawing energy upward along the spine, then exhale and consciously radiate it outward through every pore of your skin. Imagine your body glowing like a lamp, a field of light extending inches or feet around you. This is your aura, your radiant envelope of energy. Hold the thought, I am a child of the infinite. Nothing can make me old, for I live in the light of spirit. As you complete this phase, rest quietly for a moment in stillness. Feel the tingling in the limbs, the freshness in the mind, the uplifted joy in the heart. This is not ordinary exercise. This is the descent of spirit into matter, the union of soul and body in harmony. Even after one session, you may feel renewed, your fatigue dissolved, your step lighter. But Yogananda added a seal to this practice, the power of affirmation, by which thought crystallizes energy into lasting transformation. Let us now move into that sacred blueprint of affirmation. Beloved one, energy flows where thought goes, and thought, when repeated with deep feeling, becomes the blueprint that the body obeys. This is why Yogananda so often emphasized the use of affirmations. They are not idle words, but living commands issued from the soul to the cells. Just as an architect's lines on paper guide the raising of stone and steel, so too your affirmations guide the shaping of your body, mind, and spirit. If you allow the subconscious to repeat the world's affirmations, I am old, I am weak, I am tired, then the body dutifully follows. But if you replace those suggestions with the truth of spirit, I am energy, I am light, I am joy, the body responds with vigor, no matter its age. Sit now, calmly upright, eyes half closed, gaze gently lifted toward the spiritual eye. Place both hands lightly over the heart, for this is the temple where thought becomes feeling and feeling becomes power. Take a slow breath, and as you exhale, affirm silently, then aloud, I am ever new strength. I am ever new energy. I am ever new joy. Speak it once with calm conviction, once with deeper intensity, and once with the full flame of your will and devotion. Feel as if the words were not spoken by your lips, but by God through your soul, commanding every atom of your being to awaken. As you repeat, imagine the words becoming sparks of golden light, leaping into every cell. See the muscles glowing, the nerves humming like strings of a finely tuned harp, the heart radiating warmth like a sun. Each phrase is not only suggestion, it is ignition. With each repetition, you are striking the match that lights the fire of divine vitality. Now focus on a part of your body that feels weak or burdened by age. Hold your attention there and repeat softly, Thou art charged with life. Thou art charged with God's energy. Visualize the cells as tiny lamps flickering to brilliance, the tissues regenerating, the heaviness dissolving. Know it as truth, not fantasy. Prana obeys thought. It rushes into the channel where you direct it, just as water flows where the channel is dug. As you conclude, close your eyes in stillness and let the affirmations sink beyond words into the silent knowing of the soul. Feel yourself already transformed, as though a cloak of fatigue has been dropped and you stand clothed in light. This is the divine blueprint, thought-shaping energy, energy-shaping matter. Carry these affirmations into your day and night, and they will continue their work even in your sleep. But to make transformation lasting, we must weave practice and affirmation into the fabric of daily life. Let us now see how to establish this as a spiritual ritual, so that youth is not a momentary spark, but a steady flame. Beloved, transformation is not secured by a single moment of inspiration, but by the steady rhythm of practice woven into the pattern of daily life. Just as a tree grows tall not by one mighty rain, but by the faithful return of sun and water, so too will your body and spirit renew themselves through constancy. Yogananda urged his disciples to make the energization exercises and affirmations part of their morning and evening routine. For in those hours, the subconscious is most receptive, and the currents of prana are easiest to direct. In the morning, before you step into the noise of the world, sit quietly and remember who you are. Begin with the double breath, clearing away the heaviness of sleep, and then move through a few of the energization movements, tensing and relaxing each part of the body with calm will. Feel as if you are plugging your entire being into the cosmic power station, charging yourself for the day. Then close with the affirmation, I am ever new energy. I am ever new joy. Carry that vibration with you as you rise, dress, and greet the world. Your tasks will not drain you, for you will be giving from a cup continually refilled by spirit. In the evening, when the body feels the accumulation of the day, take 15 minutes before sleep to practice again. Perform the exercises more gently, not as preparation for action, but as cleansing for rest. Release every tension, every worry, every weight into the infinite. Then sit in stillness and offer gratitude. Beloved Father, Divine Mother, Thou art the energy in my body, Thou art the joy in my heart. Renew me as I sleep. With this ritual, you enter the night not as a weary traveler, but as a child returning to the arms of God, and even in dreams, your cells will continue to drink the nectar of divine vitality. If you are consistent, even for a week, you will notice your step lighter, your breath freer, your heart more cheerful. If you continue for a month, you will marvel that what once felt heavy has grown bright and buoyant. And if you practice for the rest of your life, you will prove Yogananda's promise. Age cannot bind the soul that lives by the science of prana. Do not think of these practices as duties. Think of them as love, letters to God, written with the pen of your body and the ink of your will. Each time you practice, you are saying, Lord, I remember that Thy energy sustains me. I offer my little effort. Give me Thy great power. And He does, instantly and abundantly. This is the ritual that transforms not only your body, but your consciousness, making every day a fountain of renewal. And now, beloved, let us bring all this together with the final decree, the eternal affirmation that seals your life in God's ever-new youth. Beloved one, we have walked together through the sacred arc of remembrance, learning not only that the body can be renewed, but that the fountain of renewal lies in the soul itself. Now we arrive at the final seal, the vow that anchors all practice, all affirmation, all ritual into the eternal truth. You are not this body alone. You are spirit, ever new, ever living, ever young. The body is a garment you wear for a time, woven of atoms that change, but the soul is woven of light, untouched by decay. To live in this awareness is to live in perpetual youth, no matter the number of years counted by the world. Sit quietly now, with your gaze uplifted, and breathe in the certainty that God's presence fills you. Whisper within, though my body changes, I am changeless. Though time passes, I live in eternity. I am the child of the infinite, ageless, deathless, ever new. Repeat these words, not mechanically, but with devotion. Each phrase is a chisel, carving away the false identification with weakness and planting the truth of your immortality in your heart. Feel the vibration of these words filling the room around you, rising like a hymn sung by invisible choirs. As you hold this decree, visualize yourself as a radiant sun. Rays pour outward, illuminating not only your body, but the space around you. Those rays are your consciousness, streaming from the soul into every atom. The lines on your skin, the years on your record, vanish in that radiance, for what shines is beyond age. Say again with conviction, I live in light, I live in strength, I live in joy, I am ever new. This, beloved, is not suggestion, it is truth. Each time you affirm it, you tear away another veil of Maya, another illusion that tells you you are weak, fragile, limited. Each time you affirm it, you claim your divine inheritance as a child of God. Do not wait for others to affirm it for you. Speak it yourself, daily, with power. This is the final decree. Youth is not something you had and lost. Youth is the eternal state of the soul, and the body can reflect it when the mind is attuned to spirit. As we close, I bless you with the vision Yogananda himself gave. See your body as a temple filled with God's electricity, every cell alive, every nerve singing. See your heart as a lamp of joy that never flickers. See your mind as a clear sky, free of clouds. And above all, see yourself as a radiant soul, carrying within you the strength of the infinite. Say now with me, I am ever new life. I am ever new strength. I am ever new joy. I am the ageless child of God. Let this be your vow, your shield, your song. And so, beloved, though the years may pass, you shall walk in eternal youth, until the day your soul returns wholly to the light from which it came. Beloved soul, I want you to recall a moment not from some far-off memory, but perhaps from the very recent past when you were going about your life in the sanctuary of your home, and suddenly, your eyes caught movement. A small creature, unexpected, unfamiliar in that space, appeared before you. The lizard. Perhaps it startled you. Perhaps you froze in quiet observation. Perhaps you felt a flicker of unease in your heart or a subtle curiosity in your mind. This moment, my dear one, though it may have seemed insignificant to the logical mind, is like the tap of a divine finger upon the shoulder of your consciousness, urging you to turn and notice. And I tell you, there is no random in the orchestration of God. Every element of creation is a thread in the vast and perfect weaving of His design, and even the smallest visitor may carry the fragrance of a message from the infinite. In my own life, I have walked through gardens and marketplaces, through temples and along quiet paths, and I have seen how nature speaks in a silent yet unmistakable language. The great error of modern thought is to treat the universe as a cold machine, devoid of intention and accident, grinding along without awareness. But the truth is that the cosmos is a living scripture, authored by the divine, and every page contains meaning. In this vast scripture, your home is not just a building, it is a sacred extension of your inner being. It is the visible form of your unseen sanctuary. And what steps across that threshold does not do so by chance? Think of the lizard's arrival as a sealed letter slipped under your door in the night. You may notice it and set it aside, unopened, in the pile of daily debris, telling yourself you will deal with it later. But if you do, you risk leaving unread a message written specifically for your soul's present season. The infinite is subtle. He does not always speak in trumpets and earthquakes. More often, He comes in the rustle of small feet on the wall, in the brief meeting of eyes across the boundaries of species, in the momentary stillness that interrupts the flow of your day. Before you dismiss this as nothing more than a curious intrusion, I ask you to open the envelope. Let us, together, break the seal and read the handwriting of God that has been delivered into the quiet sanctuary of your life. Many, dear one, would see the same moment through the tinted glass of inherited superstition, and in doing so, they would miss the living truth concealed within it. For in cultures across the world, the lizard has been made into a pawn of rumor, sometimes hailed as a harbinger of wealth, other times feared as an omen of misfortune. These beliefs, passed from mouth to mouth like a well-worn coin, may seem to offer certainty, but they are often chains upon perception rather than keys to understanding. Superstition binds the mind to the echo of old fears. It trains the eye to see threat or reward where God intends revelation. Such chains are made of shadows, and they darken the vision of the soul that longs to see clearly. Yogananda taught that God does not speak in the voice of fear. The divine does not cloak his guidance in menace. Fear contracts the heart, and a contracted heart cannot hear the subtle music of spirit. When a sign is wrapped in anxiety, it is like a mirror fogged with breath. You see shapes, but no detail, movement, but no truth. Only when the fog is wiped away with the cloth of calmness can the true reflection appear. And in that clear image, you discover that what you feared was a shadow cast by your own thought, not the form of the messenger itself. To approach such moments rightly, you must become as a child again, open, unburdened, unhurried to define what has not yet revealed itself. Cast aside the scripts you have been handed by tradition if they are laced with dread. Let your awareness stand naked before the moment, like a clear lake before the sky, reflecting without distortion. In this openness, the lizard is no longer a cipher of misfortune or luck. It becomes a living verse in God's unfolding poem, written directly into the page of your day. And as you watch without the filter of fear, something extraordinary happens. The messenger steps forward in its true light, and you see that it has not come to threaten or to flatter, but to awaken. This is the lifting of the fog, and in that lifting, the voice of the infinite becomes clear. Now let us turn our gaze to the lizard itself, not as an accident of nature wandering into your space, but as a deliberate emissary whose very design is a parable. Watch how it can rest for long moments in utter stillness, every limb poised, every movement stilled, as if it listens to a silence deeper than the noise of the world. This is the stillness that the yogi cultivates in meditation, the suspension of restless motion, the calming of the mind until it reflects the infinite like a placid lake reflects the moon. And yet, observe how, in the very next instant, the lizard can spring into swift action, darting to a new perch with unerring precision. This is the readiness that the soul must have, the ability to wait without impatience, then move without hesitation when the divine prompts. See also its remarkable adaptability, navigating between the brightness of sunlight and the cool refuge of shadow, adjusting to both without strain. The awakened soul learns the same art, remaining steady, whether life brings the warmth of joy or the cool of trial, knowing both are necessary seasons in God's garden. And perhaps the most potent of its traits, the ability to shed its skin, leaving behind the dry husk of what no longer serves its growth. In this, the lizard embodies the eternal law of renewal, the same law the yogi follows when he sheds the worn garments of past habits, outdated beliefs, and self-definitions that have grown too tight for the expanding soul. To the untrained eye, these are merely survival mechanisms, but to the one attuned to the divine language of creation, they are living symbols. In its stillness, the lizard whispers, "Be calm and attentive to the inner voice." In its sudden movement, act when guided, delay, not when God calls. In its adaptability, flow with both light and shadow without losing your center. In its shedding, release the past so the new self can live. That it has come into your home may mean that your own soul is ready to live these truths more fully now, that you are in a season of readiness for change, for decisive action, for shedding the old and embracing the new. This is no random meeting. It is the beloved placing before you a living metaphor of your own becoming. Why here, within the walls you call home, and why now, at this exact crossing of your days? The answer, dear one, lies in the spiritual truth that the home is more than a physical shelter. It is the outer reflection of your innermost sanctuary, the visible architecture of your unseen heart. Every doorway, every corner, every window is a symbol of your inner chambers. And when a messenger crosses that threshold, it is as though it has stepped into the very temple of your soul. Such arrivals are never casual. They occur when the vibration within calls forth a matching vibration from without. This is the divine symmetry by which the universe operates, the law of correspondence that quietly orders the great and the small alike. Consider also the dimension of timing, that signature of the divine which stamps every true message. Nothing in God's plan is premature, and nothing arrives too late. Perhaps you have been standing at the edge of an inner change, sensing a shift but not yet stepping across. Perhaps you have prayed for confirmation, for a sign that heaven hears and answers in ways uniquely tailored to your heart. Then, at this very juncture, the lizard appears not days earlier, not weeks later, but precisely now, when your awareness is ripe to perceive and receive. It is like a knock at your door at the exact moment you are about to leave for a journey, a gentle yet undeniable interruption that says, "Pause, something has arrived for you." In the sacred narratives of all ages, divine messengers appear at turning points, angels before a great departure, a stranger before a decisive act, a sign in nature before a revelation. The lizard in your home belongs to this same lineage of messengers. Its entry at this time and in this place forms a trinity of meaning. The home tells you the message is for your inner life. The timing tells you it pertains to your present transition. And the lizard itself tells you the nature of the message: adaptability, readiness, renewal. When you see this trinity clearly, you realize you are not merely watching a creature on a wall. You are witnessing the beloved slipping a note into the quiet center of your life. A note written in the script of eternity, reading, "The moment for transformation has come." To truly receive such a note from the divine, one must become fluent in the language in which it is written, a language not composed of human alphabets, but of vibration, intuition, and inner attunement. Yogananda often taught that God's universe is a living broadcast, continuously transmitting messages of guidance, reassurance, and awakening. But most souls move through life with the receiver of their awareness turned down or tuned to the wrong station. Mental restlessness, emotional turbulence, and the ceaseless clamor of the senses create a static that drowns out the subtle signal of spirit. The signs still arrive, but they pass unnoticed or are misread through the haze of distraction. To hear the divine clearly, calmness must become your tuning dial. Before you can interpret a message, you must quiet the mind and steady the breath. In meditation, you learn to still the ripples on the lake of consciousness, so that it may reflect the light of God without distortion. When the mind is calm, the smallest event, a bird's sudden song, the flicker of candlelight, the pause of a lizard on the wall resonates deeply within, revealing layers of meaning that the hurried mind would overlook. This is why a true seeker cultivates daily moments of silence, not as an escape from life, but as a deliberate clearing of the static, so the broadcast of the divine can be received without interference. Imagine a radio that is always on, always sending the same pure tone of God's presence. If you leave it buried in a drawer, with the antenna folded down, all you will hear is muffled noise. But lift it up, extend its reach, and turn the dial careful. Suddenly, the voice comes through as if it had been waiting for you all along. So it is with divine signs. The lizard's appearance in your home is a clear, strong signal in that broadcast. But only a tuned consciousness can translate it from a curious occurrence into a living message for the soul. And when you do, the event stops being a puzzle for the mind and becomes a personal conversation between you and the infinite, a whisper from the beloved that says, "I am here, and I am speaking directly to you." Now that the signal has been tuned and the noise quieted, let us listen to what the lizard's visit is saying about you. This is not a general truth meant for all humanity in the abstract. It is a mirror held up to your own soul at this moment in your journey. In the stillness of the lizard, I see the reflection of your own need for inner poiseo. Root yourself so deeply in the calm center of spirit that no outward disturbance can shake you. Its sudden, decisive movements reveal the readiness within you to act when God's whisper becomes a command, a readiness perhaps long dormant, waiting for the right call to awaken it. Its comfort in both sun and shadow mirrors your capacity to walk with grace through both joy and trial, understanding that both are classrooms of the soul. And in its gift of shedding its skin, I see the soul's ancient art of releasing identities, habits, and burdens that have outlived their purpose, making room for the new self that longs to emerge. This moment in your life may be one of subtle transition. Perhaps you feel an inner tension, as though the life you have been living no longer fits quite as it once did, much like a garment grown too tight around expanding shoulders. The lizard's visit tells you that you are already equipped for the change you sense approaching. That adaptability is not something you must acquire, but something already woven into the fabric of your eternal nature. Across lifetimes, your soul has learned how to adjust, to blend without losing its essence, to find a way forward no matter the terrain. You are like the chameleon, which does not hide from its surroundings but harmonizes with them, becoming part of the divine rhythm without surrendering its core truth. To see this clearly is to recognize that you are not a passive observer of the sign, you are its fulfillment. The qualities it embodies are the very ones you are being called to express more boldly now. This is why the meeting happened not outside in the open world, but here, in your most personal space. It is as if the infinite wished to deliver a mirror to your doorstep and say, "Behold, this is who you are, and this is what you are ready to live." In receiving this, you are no longer merely someone who saw a lizard in their home. You are one who has been reminded of their own divine adaptability, poise, and power to renew. Recognition, beloved, is only the first doorway. To pass through it, you must step into alignment with the truth you have been shown. This is the law of alignment, which declares that once a divine message is received, it asks for a corresponding adjustment in thought, word, and action. If the lizard's visit has revealed adaptability, readiness, and the grace of renewal as your current spiritual themes, then the next question becomes, how will you live them? It is one thing to admire the reflection in the mirror, and another to become it in motion. Alignment is not a static state, it is an ongoing dance between inner realization and outward expression, a harmony that must be tuned again and again like a sacred instrument. Begin by examining the places in your life where you resist change. Notice where you cling to the known, not out of devotion to truth, but out of fear of the unknown. Ask yourself where stillness is needed, moments to listen for the inner prompting before rushing ahead, and where decisive action has been delayed by hesitation. Then, much like a weather vane that turns without resistance to meet the wind, let yourself turn in the direction the Spirit is moving you. This does not mean following every impulse, but attuning to that quiet, steady current of divine will and allowing it to carry you into the next chapter without strain. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that the yogi who lives in harmony with the self is in harmony with all of nature. When you align yourself inwardly, the outer signs multiply, not because life suddenly becomes lucky, but because you are no longer moving against the flow of divine orchestration. The visit of the lizard was the first ripple. Your alignment will call forth the tide. And in this tide, every step feels guided, every door opens in its appointed time, and even the smallest encounter shimmers with purpose. This is the reward of alignment, the transformation of life from a series of disconnected events into a seamless conversation between your soul and the infinite. To ensure that this message takes root and flourishes, you must integrate it into the rhythm of your daily life, allowing it to infuse both your inner practice and outward demeanor. Integration means more than remembering the lizard's visit as a pleasant story or a curious signet. Means shaping your days so that the qualities it symbolizes become living habits of your soul. Begin with stillness. Carve out moments each day, even if only for a few breaths, to rest in complete inward silence. Let these pauses be like the lizard's motionless vigil, watchful and aware, conserving your energy for the right moment to act. This conscious stillness becomes a spiritual reservoir, a place from which wise action naturally springs. Next, cultivate adaptability in the small turns of daily life. When a plan shifts unexpectedly, practice responding without complaint or inner resistance, seeing in each change a possible redirection from the divine. This is how the yogi keeps the guest room of the soul uncluttered and ready, by holding loosely to expectations and tightly to faith. Remember, too, the sacred act of shedding. Each day, find something you can release, a limiting thought, an unnecessary fear, a habit that no longer serves you, or even a physical object whose presence weighs you down. These little acts of letting go prepare you for the larger renewals God may send. In this way, your life becomes a sanctuary ever open to divine messengers. The lizard's visit was not an isolated miracle. It was an introduction to an ongoing relationship between your awareness and the living world around you. By integrating its lesson into your practice, you keep the spiritual door ajar for other signs to enter: a songbird landing in your path, a sudden fragrance that awakens a memory, a phrase overheard at the exact moment your heart is asking a question. All of these are threads in the same tapestry. To live this way is to walk through each day as a sacred text, where even the smallest syllable is a whisper from the Beloved, calling you deeper into alignment, renewal, and the joy of His endless creativity. Now, dear soul, let us seal the teaching of this moment with the power of conscious affirmation. For what is recognized and affirmed sinks deeper into the fertile soil of the subconscious, where it may take root and bear fruit in your daily life. Sit upright where you are, allowing the body to become an unmoving vessel of awareness. Close your eyes gently and turn your gaze inward toward the spiritual eye, the point between the eyebrows where the soul's vision opens to the infinite. Let your breath slow, becoming as calm and effortless as the lizard's still vigil upon the wall. Silently, or in a whisper if you prefer, repeat these words with me. In God's presence, every messenger is my friend. I adapt in His grace, I move with His will, I release what no longer serves my soul. As you speak the first line, feel your heart expand in welcome to all forms through which the Beloved might approach you, whether in the shape of a creature, a circumstance, or an intuition. In the second line, sense your will dissolving into the greater current of divine intention, no longer pushing against the river but flowing with it in serene trust. And in the third, experience the lightness of release, as though you were shedding an old skin that has grown too tight, stepping free into the spaciousness of a renewed self. Visualize these words not as fleeting thoughts, but as a sacred seal pressed into soft wax, imprinting your consciousness with their truth. This seal will remain with you, marking you as one who is attentive to the language of spirit, one who is ready to adapt, to act, and to renew at the prompting of the divine. Each time another messenger appears in your life, these words will rise within you, reminding you that you are not a passive observer of random events, but a conscious participant in the great conversation between the soul and its eternal friend. With each repetition, the truth of this identity becomes more than belief. It becomes the living posture of your soul before the Beloved. Let us step back now and see the larger tapestry we have woven together from this single thread. For in doing so, the fullness of the message becomes even more luminous. We began with the surprise, the moment of identity shock, when the lizard crossed the boundary of your home and entered your awareness, shaking you free from the quiet rhythm of your day. From there, we stripped away the fog of superstition, refusing to let the old, fear-stained lenses distort the light of truth that God was offering. We then gazed directly upon the lizard itself, not as a random intruder, but as a living emblem of stillness, readiness, adaptability, and renewal, each trait a divine mirror held up to your own soul. We explored the deeper significance of place and timing, understanding that your home is the visible form of your inner sanctuary, and that nothing in God's order arrives before its time or lingers past its purpose. We learned the language of divine signs, attuning our hearts to the subtle broadcast of the infinite so that such messages would never again pass us by unnoticed. In this light, the lizard became more than a visitor. It became a reflection of your eternal adaptability and your readiness for transformation, a reminder that you are equipped to move with divine will as seamlessly as it moves with you. We then stepped into the law of alignment, recognizing that the message carries a responsibility to harmonize your inner state with the truth revealed so that your outer life may confirm it. We practiced integration, allowing stillness, adaptability, and the art of shedding to shape the rhythm of each day. We sealed the lesson with an affirmation, pressing it into the wax of the soul so that it may remain imprinted long after the memory of this moment fades. And now, standing here in the wholeness of this journey, you can see that the lizard's visit was not an isolated occurrence, but part of a much greater conversation, a conversation in which God uses the language of creation to remind you of who you are and what you are ready to become. This is the true tapestry, a life where nothing is random, and everything is the handwriting of the Beloved. And now, beloved one, I would place upon you a blessing not as mere words spoken into the air, but as a living current of divine force, the same current that has flowed through the hearts of all masters, when they bestow their grace upon a willing soul. May your eyes be open wide to see the fingerprints of God upon every moment of your life. May the reflex of fear dissolve into the calm certainty that you are never without guidance, never without protection, never without love. May your awareness become like a polished mirror, reflecting without distortion the messengers He sends, whether they come on 2 legs, 4 legs, or in the stillness of an intuition that appears unbidden in the mind. Visualize now your home, not only in its outer walls and furnishings, but as the subtle temple it truly is, its atmosphere woven from your thoughts, prayers, and silent longings. See it surrounded in a golden radiance, a light so pure and steady that every doorway becomes a threshold of blessing, every window an opening for grace to pour through. Within this light, imagine the lizard itself, no longer simply a creature of the earth, but a bearer of a divine seal, resting in peace as if it, too, knows it has fulfilled a sacred errand. Let this vision impress upon you that nothing, from the greatest event to the smallest rustle on your wall, escapes the orchestration of the infinite. Carry this blessing into your tomorrows. Let it be the lens through which you interpret every interruption, every change, every unexpected arrival. In doing so, you will walk in a world where all is alive with meaning, and the very air is charged with the nearness of the beloved. And when the next messenger comes, as surely it will, you will not greet it with confusion or dismissal, but with the serene joy of one who knows, this too is God coming to meet me. Before we part, let us enter together into the silent seal. For there are truths that cannot be fully absorbed through thought or speech alone. They must be allowed to sink into the deep, wordless waters of the soul. Sit now in a posture of stillness, your spine gently straight, your gaze softly lifted to the spiritual eye, that sacred meeting point between the finite and the infinite. Let your breath slow until it moves in quiet rhythm with the beating of your heart. In your mind's eye, call forth the image of the lizard in your home, but now see it bathed in a halo of divine light, its small form resting effortlessly within the vastness of God's presence. There is no trace of fear, no question of belonging, only the knowing that it is exactly where it is meant to be, just as you are exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. Allow this vision to expand until the light envelops not only the lizard in your home, but your entire life, past, present, and future, revealing each event, each encounter, each breath as part of a perfect and unbroken design. Rest in this awareness for a while, letting it dissolve any lingering sense of randomness or isolation. Feel the deep peace that comes when the soul knows it is held, guided, and surrounded by the infinite at all times. If thoughts arise, let them pass like clouds across a luminous sky, returning again and again to the quiet radiance at the center of your being. Now, in this sacred stillness, whisper inwardly, "From this moment, nothing in my life is random, everything is the handwriting of God." Let the words move through you like a vow, sealing this truth in the depths of your consciousness. Carry it with you as you rise from this meditation, knowing that the seal remains, and that from now on, you will walk in a world where even the smallest visitor is a holy messenger, and every moment is a verse in the eternal poem the Beloved is writing through your life. Beloved, have you noticed that persistent ringing sound within your ears, a sound that medical explanations sometimes cannot fully account for? I invite you to open your heart to a truth deeper than the physical. This ringing is not merely a noise, not just an ailment of the body, but a sacred signal, a call from the divine realms to your awakening soul. It is as if a distant bell tolls softly from the heavens, beckoning you to listen beyond the ordinary and hear the drumbeat of your own spiritual unfolding. This sound, though faint, is persistent, a constant vibration reminding you that the soul's journey transcends the visible world. It stirs a subtle awareness, a gentle tension between fear and curiosity, urging you to recognize that something profound is afoot. Many dismiss this ringing as a nuisance or a medical condition, but I tell you now, beloved, it carries a message, a spiritual significance that can unlock the door to higher consciousness. Consider this moment as the beginning of a pilgrimage, a journey beyond the familiar senses into the hidden realms, where the soul's true nature vibrates with sacred sound. Together, we will step beyond the physical to listen with new ears, to perceive the sacred soundscape within, and to embrace the ringing as a divine signal guiding you ever closer to God. Beloved, within the subtle realms of your being lies a soundscape far richer and more profound than the ordinary noise of the world. The ringing you hear is but one note in the celestial symphony, a sacred vibration that signals the awakening of subtle energies and the presence of the divine moving within you. It is the humming of the cosmic lotus, the music of the spheres that ancient sages spoke of, resonating through the channels of your spiritual anatomy. Imagine the heavens themselves singing a hymn of creation, their harmonies weaving through the cosmos in waves of light and sound. This music, though inaudible to the physical ear, vibrates in the core of every soul, inviting awakening and union with the infinite. Your ears, beloved, become gateways, portals through which this divine melody reaches your consciousness, stirring the depths of your spirit. This soundscape is not random but ordered, reflecting the intricate dance of prana, kundalini, and divine presence. As your spiritual energy awakens and ascends, these inner sounds become clearer, more persistent, inviting you into deeper realms of meditation and realization. Far from being a mere medical symptom, the ringing is an echo of the eternal, a call to listen inward and attune to the subtle currents that shape your spiritual destiny. Embrace this understanding with reverence and wonder, for it marks a sacred turning point. Your ears do not deceive. They transmit the language of the soul, the whisperings of God. Let us journey further into this mystery, learning to discern the spiritual signal from the illusions of the mind and body. Beloved, many cling to the notion that all experiences must be explained by the physical senses or the rational mind. Yet this attachment blinds us to the greater truths unfolding just beyond our ordinary perception. The ringing you hear is caught in the liminal space between the tangible and the transcendent, veiled by Maya, the cosmic illusion that distorts reality and hides the divine plan. Our minds, conditioned by materialism, often dismiss such subtle signals as mere noise, failing to perceive their sacred origin. Imagine clouds drifting across the sun, sometimes thick enough to block the light, sometimes thin enough to let it shimmer through in dappled patterns. So too does Maya obscure the pure radiance of spiritual signals. Your mind may focus on the discomfort or distraction of the ringing, overlooking its deeper significance. Like mist over a sacred spring, this veil can be lifted by awakening, revealing the crystal-clear waters of divine communication beneath. The true challenge, beloved, is to shift perception, to move from identifying solely with the physical body and its sensations to opening the inner ear of the soul. When this veil lifts, the ringing ceases to be a source of confusion or fear and becomes a sacred mantra, a divine vibration resonating within you as an invitation to awakening. This is not a matter of denial or dismissal of the physical, but a transcendence of limiting views, an embrace of the multidimensional nature of your being. Let your heart soften to this possibility, allowing curiosity to replace doubt and faith to dispel fear. When you open yourself to this vision, you step into the luminous path of awakening, where every sound, even the faint ringing in your ears, is a message from God, calling you deeper into the mystery of your true self. Beloved, at the heart of this sacred journey lies the awakening of Kundalini, the divine serpent power coiled within the depths of your spine, waiting to rise and illumine every chamber of your being. This sacred energy, when awakened, manifests in many ways, one of which is the subtle yet persistent ringing sound that vibrates in your ears, signaling the movement of divine fire within. Kundalini is not a mere metaphor, but a living reality, the transformative current that ignites the altar of the soul and purifies all layers of your consciousness. Envision a great serpent, coiled and resting at the base of the spine, its energy dormant but potent, like embers waiting for the breath of a sacred wind. As the soul matures and the seeker opens to divine grace, this serpent stirs, uncoiling slowly, rising through the chakras, setting each center ablaze with holy fire. This rising awakens the subtle senses, cleanses karmic blockages, and reveals the hidden harmonies of creation. The ringing you hear is the music of this ascent, the sound of divine energy breaking free from the bonds of ignorance and limitation. Picture a sacred fire burning at the heart of a temple, its flames flickering upward, consuming all darkness and filling the space with radiant light. Kundalini is that fire within you, the holy presence that transforms fear into courage, confusion into wisdom, and bondage into liberation. When you recognize this ringing as the voice of Kundalini, you step into a place of reverence and awe, understanding that your spiritual awakening is underway and that this sound is your guide. Beloved, to recognize and honor this sacred signal is to claim the key to your awakening. It invites you to deepen your practice, to cultivate stillness and listening, and to welcome the transformative power that moves through you. This sound is not a cause for alarm, but a call to the highest truth, a door opening to divine communion and self-realization. Beloved, the ringing that you perceive within your ears is not merely a sound, but a sacred invitation, a gentle summons to enter the stillness where the divine speaks most clearly. How you respond to this inner signal shapes the trajectory of your spiritual unfolding. The path forward is one of meditation and attunement, a loving turning inward to listen with the heart and to open yourself fully to the divine presence that calls from within. Imagine a calm lake under the soft glow of the moon. The surface is smooth, reflecting the light with perfect clarity. As the breeze whispers across the water, gentle ripples arise, carrying the reflections deeper into the stillness below. Your meditation is like this lake, a place of tranquil awareness where the ringing sound is no longer a distraction but a sacred vibration to be embraced and explored. In this silence, you attune to the subtle currents of divine energy flowing through you. Consider a flower slowly opening to the morning sun, its petals unfolding to receive the life-giving warmth. So too must your heart and mind open to the sacred sound, receiving it without resistance or fear, allowing it to awaken deeper layers of your consciousness. This attunement is an act of surrender and trust, a sacred offering that invites grace to flow freely and to heal all blockages. Beloved, this practice requires patience and gentleness. When the ringing arises, do not turn away or resist. Instead, turn inward with curiosity and love. Let the sound become a mantra, a sacred pulse guiding you deeper into stillness and communion. As you cultivate this inner listening, you begin to dissolve the illusions that veil your soul and awaken to the radiant truth that you are ever connected to the boundless source of life and light. Beloved, now, in the sacred space we have created through stillness and intention, I invite you to join me in a guided meditation, a tender journey inward to embrace, accept, and merge with the sacred ringing sound. Close your eyes softly, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath as it flows naturally in and out, a wave of life carrying you ever deeper into serenity. Allow your awareness to settle at the spiritual eye, the luminous point between your eyebrows where the soul perceives the divine light beyond all form. Envision the ringing sound as a river flowing gently over smooth stones, each ripple a tender vibration of divine love and awakening. Rather than resisting or fearing the sound, welcome it as a sacred guest, a messenger bearing the presence of God itself. Feel the tones washing over your consciousness, cleansing and purifying every thought, every feeling, every subtle corner of your being. In this sacred acceptance, the sound transforms from noise into a mantra, a holy hymn sung by your soul in union with the cosmos. Here too, the distant ringing of temple bells, carried on a soft breeze, a call to prayer and remembrance, a reminder that you are never separate from the sacred presence. Let this sound guide you into deeper spaciousness, where all dualities dissolve, and only the pure light of being remains. Rest in this vast silence between the sounds, where the eternal self dwells, untouched by time or change. Beloved, remain here as long as you can, bathing in this holy vibration and stillness. Know that this meditation is a sanctuary you can return to whenever the ringing calls you, a refuge where transformation unfolds effortlessly and the sacred fire of awakening burns bright. When you are ready, slowly return your awareness to the room, carrying with you the peace and light you have embraced. Beloved, the sacred ringing you have come to know is a precious gift, an inner signal that when embraced with love and devotion, becomes a wellspring of spiritual awakening in your daily life. To nurture this awakening, you must integrate the awareness of this sacred sound into each moment, carrying it gently in your heart and mind as a lamp carried steadily through both the light and shadow of life. Imagine a lantern glowing softly in your hand as you walk a path through twilight. Though darkness surrounds you, the lantern's flame guides each step, illuminating the stones beneath your feet and the direction ahead. This lamp is your awareness of the divine ringing, steady, reliable, and ever present, keeping you connected to the sacred even amid the distractions and challenges of the world. Consider the footprints left by a devoted pilgrim along a dusty road. Each imprint marks a conscious step taken in faith, each step a commitment to walk the spiritual path with humility and courage. As you carry your awareness of the ringing, you leave behind the footprints of your awakening, inspiring others to follow the path of inner listening and divine communion. Beloved, integrate simple practices into your daily routine, a moment of silence upon waking to tune into the sacred sound, a breath of awareness before each task, a prayer of gratitude as you rest. These acts may seem small, yet their cumulative power shapes your consciousness, transforming ordinary life into a continuous meditation, a living mantra of divine presence. Through this integration, the sacred ringing ceases to be a distraction or mystery and becomes the pulse of your awakened being, guiding you toward peace, clarity, and divine union. With steady practice, your life flows in harmony with the divine, and your soul shines forth as a radiant beacon on the world's spiritual horizon. Beloved, as your inner light grows brighter through the sacred practice of listening to and embracing the ringing sound, your transformation naturally begins to inspire and uplift those around you. The radiance of your awakened soul acts as a beacon, drawing others toward the path of divine awakening with a gentle yet irresistible force. This is the sacred ripple effect, a single light igniting countless others, a humble flame kindling a vast, luminous fire that warms and illuminates the world. Picture a solitary candle in a darkened room. Its flame may seem small, but as it touches another candle's wick, the light multiplies, filling the space with warmth and brilliance. In this way, your spiritual awakening does not diminish but expands, lighting the way for all who seek freedom from suffering and the embrace of divine love. Your peace becomes contagious, your joy a healing balm, your clarity a guiding star. Envision a great tree standing tall in a forest, its branches offering shelter and comfort to countless creatures beneath. The tree's strength and grace are not its own alone, but a gift to the entire ecosystem, sustaining life and fostering growth. So too does your transformed being provide refuge and inspiration for others, a sanctuary where weary hearts may find rest and encouragement. Beloved, recognize that your journey is intertwined with the countless souls walking their own paths. Your awakening sends ripples through the cosmos, touching lives in ways you may never fully see, yet always deeply felt. Through your devoted practice and radiant presence, you participate in the sacred dance of collective liberation, a melody of love and light that unites all beings. As we prepare to close this sacred time, let us gather in a final blessing, a prayer that seals your transformation and invites you into ongoing communion with the divine presence that sustains and guides you forever. Beloved, as our sacred time of shared awakening draws to its close, let us come together in reverent blessing, a holy consecration of the transformation you have embraced and the luminous path that stretches before you. In this silence, breathe deeply and feel the infinite presence of God encircling you like a radiant cloak of love and protection, a sacred embrace that has held you from before time began and will never let go. Visualize yourself as a river flowing freely into the boundless ocean, your individual waves merging seamlessly into the eternal vastness of divine light and love. Feel the crown of luminous grace resting upon your brow, not of earthly gold or jewels, but a brilliant halo of wisdom, courage, and unshakable faith that marks your soul's triumphant ascent beyond karma and limitation. This crown is your birthright, bestowed by the infinite, shining steadily to guide your every step. Now, with full presence and devotion, offer this blessing in your heart or aloud. May the sacred ringing within me continue to awaken the divine fire that burns away all karma and illusion. May I walk in fearless light, a beacon of peace and love for all beings. May my path be clear, my heart open, and my soul forever free in the eternal embrace of God. So be it, and so I vow. Let these words settle deeply within you, like golden seeds sown in the fertile soil of your being, destined to grow and blossom in the light of your awakened consciousness. Rest now in the sacred silence that follows, allowing the blessing to permeate every cell, every subtle energy, every corner of your soul. Carry this blessing as a sacred flame, illuminating your way through the days and nights to come. Know, beloved, that the divine ringing you have embraced is a constant call to awakening, a sacred signal guiding you ever closer to the eternal union with the infinite. May peace, love, and divine light fill your heart now and forevermore.